Hey there, my name is LexC, and thank you so much for tuning in to LexChat. This is a show dedicated to music and entertainment where we talk about the industry and the business, and we help each other to become better creatives and better artists. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Today in LexChat, we are talking about social media. Would you be all right if it went away? Or, would you care? How would you feel? That's the topic for today. Before we get into the topic, I use this thing called Magic Mind. It's a mental performance elixir. Okay, it's a little green potion. It's got a bunch of nice ingredients like turmeric, L-theanine, ashwagandha, lion's mane mushrooms, cordyceps mushrooms, vitamins B, C, D, and a bunch of other great organic things. It's for cognition, for less stress, and for energy. You can use it with your caffeine or in replacement of your caffeine. And it's really been helping me since I've been using it. I've been using it for a few months now. And for all my listeners out there, everybody who tunes into LexChat, go to magicmind.com/Lexi20 if you want to try it and get 20% off of your order. Again, that is magicmind.com/Lexi20 for 20% off of your order of Magic Mind. Alrighty. And then I want to tell y'all a few things before we get into the LexChat. Latest song that I released. Congratulations to AJ and the All Spark featuring yours truly, Lexi. We just released a song on September 6th called Do Better. He wrote it and produced it, and I am the featuring vocalist on the song. So y'all go check that out. That's available on all streaming platforms now. Check it out and let me know what you think. Come back and comment that down below. The next coffee date is going to be the first Sunday, the next virtual one, I should say. It's going to be the first Sunday of the month, which is going to be October 6th, okay? That's when the next virtual coffee date is going to be. As of the recording of this episode, I want to do an in-person one next week, which is going to be probably September 15th, which is Sunday. Could be a different day, but who knows? What's up, Nautica Drip? How you doing? For anyone who's tuned in live on Instagram, I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, this is the replay. So to catch the live, you got to follow me on LexCATL. That's at LexCATL. You heard me? All right. And I don't have any upcoming shows and events to tell y'all about. Kind of going on a little break, a little hiatus on that. I've been really burnt out and having a bit of a crisis when it comes to my passions and my career and just my mental health. So if that's something you want me to get into, let me know. Also, I've had some people ask me to get back into vlogging. If that's something you want to see, let me know because, it's kind of a lot of work doing vlogs. But if people want to see it, then I will definitely oblige and do that for y'all. So, yeah. Is there anything else I have? I don't think I got anything else. Shout out to the patrons, Mr. Flat Shoals and Eldon. Thank you guys so much for supporting. I'm gonna miss Alton. I think he dropped out. I don't know what happened, but I appreciate you guys for supporting me on the Patreon tip so I can have more time to create valuable content and present information to y'all like this. So keep pouring into me, I'll pour into y'all. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the topic today. Anybody who's tuned in live on Instagram, feel free to, join in on the conversation because I think it's a good one. So the question is, would you care if social media went away? And this was one of the topics that we discussed in the coffee date. Was that September 1st? Yeah, September 1st was the first Sunday of the month. Would you care if social media went away? And I asked a question on my Instagram before, how do y'all stay connected in real life? Do we all just depend too much on social media and its perceived accessibility, the perceived availability? And so I think I just want to get into a deeper conversation about that, and get your tail off of my bookshelf. What you doing? She's doing cat things in the corner there. Official Mr. Flat Shoals says the simple answer is no. He would not care if social media went away. And, I agree with you. I also disagree. Like, part of me agrees with that. I actually think it would be better in a lot of ways if social media went away. So why do I say that? I say it would be better because I feel like people have really lost the plot. People have really lost sight of what life should be about. It should not be all about followers and likes and shares and saves and content. And, if y'all been tuning into me for a while, I'm gonna need this car to keep driving by. I'm suspicious about everything outside my window. Keep moving, buddy. But if y'all been following me for a little bit, then you know that, I got a love-hate relationship with social media right now. I am very consistent with my content, but it honestly is very annoying. It is very annoying that as a music creator, my music, I'm told it's not good enough. I'm told that if I don't post on social media, then it doesn't exist, despite all of the hours and the money that I've poured into it, and the mental gymnastics that I've poured into it. And what's up, Maurice Beats? How you doing? A lot of times I feel like music is like an abusive relationship. I give it all I got and try to feel loved and try to get something in return. And it's not great returns for a long time. There are a lot of like rewarding moments along the way, but I need it to take care of me the way that I take care of it, and it don't do that, So that's why I said at the beginning of the episode, it's like I'm kind of like in a crisis at the moment and just tired and just figuring some stuff out. At this point, it's my discipline that's keeping me going and not so much the passion. And that scares me. But I guess, I'm in a relationship with music, and I guess that's just how it goes in relationships sometimes, You're not always going to feel that initial passion that you had before. But Maurice says, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good, Maurice. Thanks. As far as social media, right? Like I said, it's no longer good enough to just make the music. The music is supposed to be the content, right? But no, with social media, everybody becomes their own TV station. They become their own network. We all have free reign to put out whatever we want, whenever we want to, however we want to. And there seems to be no formula. There seems to be no rules on who goes viral, who doesn't. Is it a quality video that's going to go viral, or is it a more organic one that looks like how I'm talking on my camera right now without all the extra glitz and glam of a production surrounding me, There's no rules to it. There's no rules. But the problem with social media is that it's turned everything into like a secret competition. It's given us a lot of access to stuff that we shouldn't have to be worrying about on a daily basis. Like, you should have like your immediate circle of influence, right? So let's say I live in Atlanta. I should really only be worried about how I'm competing against the people in Atlanta if I'm doing the same or better than the people who are in my surrounding area. And then once I conquer this area, then I can start to expand that radius, right? But it doesn't work that way. In my mind, I'm not even seeing what's happening in Atlanta. I don't know who's really from here for real, but I'm seeing what's happening in LA. I'm seeing what's happening in Tokyo. I'm seeing what's happening in New York. I'm seeing what's happening in New Delhi and Abu Dhabi. I'm seeing what's happening in Nigeria. And these places are thousands of miles away, and I don't have any immediate physical connection to those places, but I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing these people, and I'm like, wow, that looks so cool. How are they doing that? So it's taken my eyes away from myself, and then it's making it so I'm not even focused on the people that are around me right here, because I'm too worried about, who are these people thousands of miles away who don't know me. I don't know them for real, but it looks good through social media, right? So mentally it plays on my mental. It plays on my mental. It really does, because now I'm thinking, wow, I'm never going to be good enough to make this type of content, or these people are doing this and I can't maintain that, and I don't have the budget, and I don't, and I'm not, and I'm not good enough, right? That is the unfortunate story that starts to play over and over and over. I keep telling myself what I don't have because I'm comparing myself to what all these other people outside of me are doing. When the star player is right here, right? I'm the star player, okay? I need to make sure the star player is good first. If y'all ever listen to Cat Williams, y'all know where this reference is from. But you got to take care of your star player first. And with social media, if you are not careful, and it's very easy to fall into, right? It's very easy to fall into getting online and scrolling every day, and there are multiple platforms to do it by. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's TikTok, there's Twitter. They all have a feature that makes it so that you want to stay on them for hours and just scroll. And you don't mean to sit on there for hours, but it becomes an addictive kind of action, you know? Maurice Beat says, I hate the social life too, but it's the way the world is. I kind of enjoy it. Help me show my personality because people think I'm mean. Well, that's good for you. I'm not saying social life. I'm talking about social media. But I guess I get what you're saying. It's the way the world is. Just because something is the way it is doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it should be normal. There's a lot of things that's legal, that's morally wrong, but because it's legal, people are allowed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, though. I mean, so the positive part of social media, right? The intended effect that it was supposed to have is connecting everybody, sharing with everybody, you know, what's going on in my life, and not meant to be in a boastful way, I don't think, but more so like, hey, I made this, or hey, I took this picture, you know, but that's supposed to be the positive part of it. And now we have access to people who are thousands of miles away, and we should be more connected, and information should be able to travel faster, right? But unfortunately, people aren't really using social media for the most positive means, or at least maybe people are, right? But unfortunately, algorithms cash in on the human mind and the human tendency to focus on negative things. So even if we want to see more of the good stuff, you really got to fight like hell against the algorithm to see the good stuff and to not overly compare yourself, because the algorithm is going to feed you something that is not good for you, but you can't turn away from it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the good part about social media, it's supposed to make us more connected, but then the downside that I find, right? It's easier to do things and distribute things through social media and through the internet because it's like a wider net that you can cast, right? Versus me, my physical self, I can only physically go to a club and meet the 20 to 50 people that's in that room. Versus if I post something on social media and I get an average view count of 200 people on TikTok, well, that's significantly more people, right? That's 4 times more people that I'm coming into contact with. Whether they interact with me or not, I got 4 times the amount of eyes on me that I would if I was in a physical space with these people. So it makes people believe that you don't have to go out into the real world. You don't have to physically touch people. You don't have to physically see them to make a connection. But the physically seeing people to make a connection, that solidifies a connection. In my opinion, the internet will never replace that human. We need that human factor. We're people. We need that connectivity. Official Mr. Flash Show says it helps. However, it's so much negativity with social media and it brainwashes you in a negative way. I agree. I totally agree with that. So like, I see Maurice Beats' point of view. I see Official Mr. Flash Show's point of view, you know? It does allow us to reach more people, but it also allows us to reach more people. So we should be inspired by others, but it becomes a competition and it becomes a thief of joy because we're all constantly comparing ourselves. We're all constantly, like for women, moving to Atlanta is one thing seeing the BBL culture and the beauty standards on social media, and then I go out to a club one night and see the same look of girls on social media. They are sitting in the VIP, they're getting the attention, they're the rappers' girlfriends and baby mamas, and even though it's like it's not a lifestyle to necessarily envy, it's not a lifestyle to necessarily desire, but it looks good, right? And so you see that, and as a woman, it makes me think like, wow, maybe I would be further along in music. Maybe I would get more attention if I got a BBL. Maybe I would get more looks if I wore the stripper clothes, because basically everybody's wearing stripper clothing these days. There's nothing real sexy about it. It's not really, there's no couth. It's not very demure, okay? I didn't think I was ever going to be able to use that in my content, but I finally did. It's not very demure, okay? It's not very cutesy. It's just the other side of it, right? Everyone is like chasing a shock factor. So that means everybody is pushing the boundaries, and it means that everyone is like trying to one up each other all the time. Even though the person that you might be seeing on social media, like I said, they're probably thousands of miles away. You're never going to run into these people. Most likely, you're never going to run into these people in real life. But, because we have this device that shows us everybody everywhere all the time, it's an overload. It's information overload, and it's comparison overload. So would you care if social media went away? That's the real question here. So Maurice Beats, official Mr. Flash shows. Official Mr. Flash shows already gave me your answer. You said the simple answer, no. I think it would be a bit devastating if social media did go away, because again, there is that connectivity factor that is the positive side of it, or at least the positive way that we are supposed to be using social media, right? And then when I look at it from the standpoint of being a music artist, it does get me more looks, even if it is superficial, it does make me feel like I'm getting more looks and more attention and being seen on a broader scale. And so, there's less gatekeeping when it comes to social media, which has been a good thing, and it's been a bad thing. Like, the quality of music, in my opinion, has not been that great in the mainstream. When it was a little more gatekeeped, when it was the labels that decided who would be successful and who would be the next big thing, when the industry decided that, I feel like the quality of music was a lot better in a crazy way. It's not so crazy, but it's like, I hate to admit that, but it's just so oversaturated, and like the accessibility that technology has given when it comes to decreasing the cost of making music, and then lowering the barrier of entry for us to be able to share things together, it cheapens the music. It cheapens the music, and it makes it so that the value, music is not as valued because so many people are able to do it with little to no skill, and they don't have to abide by a certain standard. Now, technically, to be considered a mainstream artist, to have that mainstream appeal, yes, you should care about your sound, you should care about your lyrics and your presentation. But like I said, there's also no rules to this, so it really doesn't matter. Somebody who has an overly produced piece of content would get less views and less interactions than somebody who just sat and had a story time for 50 to 75 parts, and suddenly it goes viral. Or the Haktua girl, y'all remember her? She went viral, and then she got like sat down interviews and started making hundreds of thousands of dollars based off of this viral clip, and people wanted to talk to her because she went viral. And it's just like, no one gets to really decide these things, although some would say that the music labels would make organic virality appear to be a thing. That's a whole nother conversation, but let me see what y'all are saying. Official Mr. Flat Show says, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up without social media. The new generation wouldn't be able to function because they were born into the internet world. I agree with that. I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 93. And so you and I both were part of the generation where the internet became more widespread. Cell phones became a thing and became more widespread. Computers became better, you know, and then social media became a thing. Like MySpace was the first huge social media platform that I can remember. And then it was Tagged. Tagged was another one that I really enjoyed. It was similar to MySpace, but like better because it just looked better, but it had all the same features. And then what happened? Like LimeWire was like one of the first streaming things, if you want to call it that, but file sharing. So like MySpace and LimeWire kind of kicked off the whole file sharing thing, right? And then everything just blew up from there. And now, you know, I remember the logo of YouTube being like a television set, like a box television. And now it's the red plaque with a play button in the middle. I remember Instagram being a brown and light brown tan logo. And now it's like pinkish, purplish, right? I remember all that stuff, and just, I can't believe that we've lived through it. We played outside most of the time, you know. Now these kids, their parents shove the tablet in front of them and they sit inside all day wanting to play stuff like Roblox and Minecraft, and like they don't want to see their friends in person, but they'll stay on the phone for hours. Like, but I don't know. The value of just seeing people in person has been so degraded thanks to social media. And then things like the pandemic happen where we're told it's not safe to be around people. So I think stuff like that plays a role as well. But let me read what Maurice says at official Mr. Flat Shows. Big facts. I would just go back into the old ways of putting out music if social media got shut down. I think, and I agree with both of y'all on that. Like, it would suck, sure, but what are you going to do? You're probably going to go out. Well, let me speak for myself. Would I care if social media went away? Yes. But also, I think for society at large, social media going away would be an amazing thing. We already have the news telling us bad things. Social media, like when I had Twitter on my phone, it used to play the videos automatically, right? I had to go into my phone. There was once a video that showed up on my phone where somebody got pumed in the middle of the street, and you could see them losing their life and the video played automatically, and I had to search on my computer like, how do I stop these videos from playing automatically, because that was it was really traumatic. Actually, he didn't get pumed, he got stabbed. That's what it was, in front of like his wife and kid at a coffee shop somewhere in Europe, I want to say. And it was very traumatizing. And I'm like, why is it so easy for me to see this? So when I think about stuff like that, and I had to search, like, how do I stop the videos from playing automatically? And somebody in the comment section, I think, helped me as well. But when I see stuff like that, it's like, okay, the news does a good enough job of showing us stuff like that. I don't need that news to be so accessible to me as soon as it happened, because a lot of bad things that happen, what's up, Dirty Snares? A lot of bad things that happen, we hear about it within an hour. Like, we just had a school shooting here in Georgia, maybe like a week ago, right? In Appalachia High School. Rest in peace to the 4 people who passed away during that incident. And I don't know, as soon as it happened though, like on it, like my YouTube is starting to show me clips of news stations that have covered it, or, you know, I'm on Twitter or Instagram and I automatically see news. I'm like, man, as bad as that sounds, I don't want to have bad things so readily available in my conscious, you know what I mean? So it just doesn't invite good energy into my life. But yeah, it would suck if social media went away, but if it did go away, I think it would be great for the general population. And like for me personally, I would get my ass up out the house and go out more. You know, I would have to face my social anxieties more than I do. I am really too quick to want to stay in the house, to be very transparent. But yeah, I would get out, go to more open mics. I used to go to an open mic once a week when I was back in college. I was always looking for a way to share my gift. And it's really sad because right now I'm in a place where I haven't even really been sharing it. I haven't been writing for myself. I do it when people invite me for features, but I haven't been doing it for myself. Like I said earlier in the episode, I'm really just operating on autopilot and off of discipline at this point in time. But yeah, like I got to figure out how to get the spark back in this relationship with music. That's where I'm at right now. But yeah, I would go out more. I would talk to people more. I would get flyers printed out. I would keep my ears to the streets more about different opportunities to be able to perform in front of people. And, I would figure out how to make it pop in Atlanta versus worrying about places that I can't physically touch easily, which I can't easily as well because I don't necessarily have the money that I want to be able to go flying all over the world. When people connect with you online, they want to see you in person. Like, touch me so I know it's real. Pinch me so I know I'm not dreaming. And then with the emergence of AI and deep fake and all this technology that creates images that aren't even real, it's important to be in people's faces and touch people and see people and speak to them and feel the vibration of their voice hitting you and receiving that. You know what I mean? So it's just, it will never be able to replace, and we're people, we'll never be able to replace the human factor. We can't replace ourselves. There's just no way around it, and there's no cheat code for that. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about this topic. Anybody who is watching on YouTube right now, anyone who is listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave it in the comment section down below. Leave it in the review of the episode. Would you care if social media went away? How would that affect you? How would it affect your life? Would it? Or would it be for the better for you? Let me know in the comment section or in the review section. And yeah, on that note, we're going to wrap up this thing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Lex Chat today. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit notification bells, stay tapped in with me, please, please, please stay tapped in. And that's how you can do it, by following me. Go on Instagram at LexCATL, at LexCATL. Another shout out to my patrons, Eldon and Mr. Flat Shoals. And again, y'all should try Magic Mind if it's something that you think you want to get into for energy, for mental clarity and focus, and for stress management. Go to magicmind.com/Lexi20 for 20% off of your order. That's magicmind.com/Lexi20 for 20% off of your order. Thank y'all so much for joining me on Lex Chat today. My name is Lexi. Until next time, peace. Here's the buyout, refuse to tap out.